I listen to German industrial rock or older rappers like Eminem.
You know, when we were in Vegas, she went to several rock concerts and wore black t-shirts and heavy makeup and stuff.
Is this why Robin gets all weird when Janelle talks about concerts? So I went down the rabbit hole, curious if any of the ex-wives did the classic post-breakup social media purge. You know, deleting every trace of Kody like he was a bad haircut. Turns out Janelle didn't. There are still photos floating around of her and Kody at concerts together and other moments through the years. And now suddenly that whole scene is hitting different. Black t-shirts, makeup, oh no, sound the alarms. Robin, clutch your pearls. Janelle might be having fun. What Robin really wanted to say. She dragged my husband to multiple rock concerts, with eyeliner involved. When she made that comment, I was fully expecting Janelle to be moshing at Metallica or rocking out at Rob Zombie, not whatever tame band Robin was imagining. But honestly, the idea of Janelle headbanging in the pit. Iconic. Also, Robin scrunching her face and dramatically whispering heavy makeup was rich. Girl, please. That was jealousy wrapped in judgment. And yeah, someone pointed it out, and I can't unsee it now. Robin's whole vibe in that scene, pure envy. She was never mad about the concerts. She was mad Janelle had a life, hobbies, and gas fun. Let's not forget, Janelle once mentioned working out to German industrial rock. So I'd always figured her concert nights were more Rammstein than like U2. Either way, I love that she's into live music and dragged Kody along. That's commitment. Horns up, Janelle. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. So, Robin's over here proclaiming that God made her body to have a baby, and therefore she didn't need an epidural, or a hospital for that matter. Just pure, divinely designed childbirth, I guess. Longtime lurker here. I watched the show ages ago, and now that I'm home with my newborn, I figure I'd start from the beginning, since this sub keeps showing up in my feed. Just finished season 3 and wow. Robin's whole holier-than-thou birth monologue really got under my skin. She went on and on about how her body was made for this, like some kind of divine baby-making vessel that didn't need medical intervention. Blah blah blah. I'm not even going to get into my own birth experience. Traumatic doesn't begin to cover it. But seriously, screw that mindset. Women already get judged for every single decision around pregnancy and motherhood. We don't need the passive-aggressive sanctimony routine too. What made it worse? Remember when Christine had Truley and was so happy to get the epidural? She was glowing with relief. Then here comes Robin, basically implying she's superior because she didn't need it. Like, okay Robin, thanks for twisting the knife while you're at it. Also, can we talk about how she's somehow given birth 5 times without ever cutting an umbilical cord herself? Magic, I guess. And of course, she had to have a new one fashioned out of Mary's leftover jewelry to gift to Kody. Because heaven forbid he not be the center of someone's birth experience. He's basically a doula now, just with more hair gel. And for the record, God also created someone else's body to go to med school and administer that epidural, so I wouldn't have to scream into a pillow during childbirth. Just saying. Exactly. I'm older. Back in my day, epidurals weren't even an option. I had 4 kids, all natural, not because I was trying to be some childbirth warrior, but because there was no medication. Trust me, if epidurals had been a thing, I would have been first in line. Yes, women's bodies are biologically designed to give birth. Cool, but let's not forget, childbirth used to be a leading cause of death for women. Still is in some parts of the world. Modern medicine is the reason those risks have dropped dramatically. So maybe let's not treat natural birth as some sort of moral gold star. Honestly, I think Robin chooses her words very carefully, just enough judgment laced with plausible deniability. Rewatching the show, I've noticed this pattern. Like when she subtly shaded Christine by mentioning her age when she had Truley. Supposedly out of concern, but it felt more like a flex that she was 8 years younger. Classic Robin, weaponized sweetness. So here's how we really know Robin was the strict one about COVID. Because I'm doing a rewatch. Yup, totally open-minded, analyzing every little detail to figure out exactly how this family fell apart. Spoiler, it wasn't just COVID. At first, Kody had no clue what to do about COVID. The family was like, let's all decide together. But right off the bat, it was clear Robin was the one clutching her pearls about it. And honestly, fair enough. I'd be cautious too if I had a baby with RSV. But then, enter Janelle, who made the very mature decision to tell Kody, "Hey, you're not coming over for 2 weeks because my kids are out and about, mingling with society." Kody didn't take it well. Surprise, surprise, but it was totally Janelle's call. She was uncomfortable telling him that, but hey, someone had to. Fast forward to a family gathering at Coyote Pass, and Kody has a heart-to-heart with Robin. He's all like, "Hey babe, what do you think about doing this family thing?" And Robin's response? Pure anxiety. Why? Because she was going to have to be the bad guy telling the kids, "Don't get close to anyone." The whole time, you can tell this was gonna be a blast. I was about to give Kody some credit, thinking maybe he wasn't being totally weird about COVID. And then, Isabel's surgery happens. Oh, and then Christine drops the bomb that Kody and Robin have been luxuriously employing a nanny and her husband this whole time. Cue the scramble from Kody trying to come up with some official rules for the nanny, even though, let's be honest, they put way more effort into making it clear these are not Robin's rules. Flashback to that scene where Kody was nervously looking to Robin for approval on COVID precautions, and she was the one freaking out about it. Sure, Kody was all about the rules, but who do we think wrote them? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Robin. Don't get me wrong, I don't fault Robin for being cautious about COVID at all. If anything, I get it. But let's not kid ourselves. Robin was the one who was absolutely extra about it, and Kody? He totally got his COVID stance from her. They even had discussions about how no one could blame her for it. Nice strategy, right? And then, the nanny. Oh, the nanny. Why bring one in, exactly? Well, apparently Robin didn't trust Janelle's kids to keep things safe, which, by the way, I'm sure was a personal touch of brilliance on her part. Perfect timing. Oh, and by the way, let's talk about Kody's little passive-aggressive revenge plan on Janelle. Once he decided he wasn't going to Isabel's surgery, he cranked up the COVID precaution level to 11. See, guys, I'm so careful. This is why I can't go. Really, you have to admire the subtlety. Not. Now, about those protocols, please. Robin might have said she was following them, but we all know she wasn't. They were caught out and about, no masks in sight, shopping in malls and dining at restaurants. They had a nanny coming and going every day. Kody was at a wedding. Robin got pulled over by the cops during the height of COVID. No masks on her, her kids, or anyone else within a mile. But when Mary tried to follow the rules and wanted to visit, Robin said no. How very safe of her. And let's not forget the best part. They're not vaccinated. Yeah, so COVID was clearly a convenient excuse to cut themselves off from the rest of the family. The boys called them out on it, and like any master manipulators caught in a lie, Kody and Robin immediately went on the defensive with some classic denial and a whole lot of vitriol. Now, here's the thing. Kody and Robin were totally making risk assessments based on how much they thought they needed to expose themselves. The nanny? Perfectly fine, apparently. The husband? Totally essential to the household. But when it came to surgery, heaven forbid. A funeral? Nah. But a wedding, a mall trip, or a night out for dinner? Totally fine for them. Everyone else should stay home though, because COVID. Bottom line, Robin and Kody were just as prone to exposure as Janelle's kids. They could have exposed the entire family, but somehow they just didn't count the same. Meanwhile, Kody was out there hugging and touching everyone like he was the walking, talking COVID super spreader. Classic. Kody's total lack of awareness, scratch that, sheer negligence, is hard to miss during a rewatch. It's like, whenever he's the sole responsible adult for the kids, disaster is just waiting to happen. Let's talk about Truley nearly dying from kidney failure or Dayton's ATV accident. And then there's the time Kody took the girls to the beach, only to have a shark sighting warning sign waiting for them as they were leaving. Yep, a shark sighting. Nothing like a little lighthearted danger to wrap up a family trip. Honestly, if I were one of the original 3 wives, I wouldn't trust Kody with the safety of a houseplant, let alone my kids. It's honestly depressing. His so-called parenting seemed like it was just for show. He had zero understanding or interest in his kids' personalities, let alone their individual needs or desires. Remember in the first season when Kody proudly declared he doesn't do diapers? Yeah, you read that right. Doesn't do diapers. A man with 18 kids, and he can't even handle that. You don't need to be a parenting expert to realize that's a massive red flag. And let's not even get started on the state of their vehicles. It was like every road trip was a gamble because the cars were always breaking down. No maintenance, no plan, just Kody and his cool guy 2-seater, while his kids were left stranded on the side of the road for hours, waiting for repairs. Kody's utter lack of parenting knowledge is both infuriating and pathetic. The OG wives were doing everything, and I mean everything, for the kids and for Kody. He just sat back, did nothing, and then expected the oldest kids to pick up the slack. On the rare occasion he was left in charge, he'd scream at the older girls to clear the table so the younger ones could do their homework. Seriously, what was wrong with his hands? It's not like wiping down a table is rocket science. Kody. Oh, the Janelle showdown. What a gem. I just got to the part where Kody and Janelle go head-to-head in her apartment. And let me tell you, he is completely out of touch. I mean, when you've had the same fight with 3 different wives, at what point do you stop and think, hey, maybe I'm the problem here? But nope, Kody's over here acting like he's just been misunderstood. The guy is a master at gaslighting, and the way he treated Janelle's kids, disastrous. Yet somehow, he refuses to take any responsibility for his actions, and then tries to turn around and play the victim. Like, really, Kody? Are we supposed to believe that? He's just the worst, honestly. I'm so glad it's just him and Robyn now. Honestly, they're perfect for each other. A match made in passive-aggressive heaven. And Janelle? Oh, she wasn't having any of it. She flat out called him out for having a favorite wife, which he desperately needed to hear. Kody, as usual, was too dense to admit it. What a sad excuse for a man. I'm sure Kody gave Robyn some totally altered version of how the fight went down, but we all know she eventually saw the footage when it aired. Hard to spin that into something that makes him look anything but awful. But of course, Robyn's too loyal or delusional to hold him accountable for any of it. Why would she? Kody never takes responsibility for anything. Ever. And don't even get me started on when he told Janelle and Christine that their behavior was the reason he stopped visiting during COVID. Like, excuse me, while Mary is sitting right there. The man's shameless. But the cherry on top? The tantrum. The absolute meltdown. Kody shouting, I did not, I did not, I did not. No, I'm not listening to you. It was so pathetic, yet hilariously laughable at the same time. Kody, you're a grown man. Act like it. Unpopular opinion. Robyn has absolutely no clue what happened. Let's be real. Before Sobin, because we all know she's the catalyst, Kody was at least somewhat involved in his family life. Sure, the whole priesthood holder thing was unconventional, but it worked for the OG3. They had a unique situation, but they shared a strong bond, faith, tradition, and a lifestyle that made them feel like they were part of something bigger. They had goals, a sense of community, and yes, genuine connection. Then Robyn came into the picture, and let's just say her upbringing might have been a little too, let's call it obedient kitten. She was raised to be the ultimate pleaser. The thing is, that wasn't the vibe in Kody's family. They didn't need a submissive little pet. They had a whole different dynamic going on. But once Kody got a taste of being the king, the family he and the OG3 had built slowly became something he didn't want anymore. Now, do I think Robyn is evil or malicious? Absolutely not. I genuinely think she tried to be the best wife she could, but in trying so hard, she managed to pull apart the very fabric that held this family together. She didn't mean to destroy everything. She's genuinely shocked by the fallout. And honestly, I think she's dealing with some serious codependency issues that fit perfectly with Kody's narcissistic tendencies. They feed off each other, and it's a toxic mix. Now, for those of you who bought into the sister wives storyline, I hate to burst your bubble, but there was no glue and glee before Robyn. Let's take a look at the reality. Meri was openly talking about leaving in season 1. Not to mention, Janelle did leave at least twice. Christine called herself the basement wife, which is not exactly a shining endorsement of their family dynamic. Meri had her wedding ring melted down, got no presents, and was labeled toxic for years. The OG3 all had their own issues before Robyn came along. The family was barely scraping by financially, with no health insurance and 13 kids between them. Oh, and let's not forget the depression that all the wives openly talked about in their book. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows before Robyn came to town, and let's not kid ourselves, Kody was far from being some saintly father figure. They've admitted he barely changed diapers, and for someone with 12 kids, he sure didn't have the best time management skills. He wasn't exactly juggling 4 wives in their households. The whole putting the kids to bed thing? Yeah, that was a lie. He was completely out of the loop on what was happening in Christine's house, even when the wives went off on girls' trips. The truth is, the OG3 had already settled for this dysfunctional family dynamic long before Robyn entered the picture. They didn't exactly have the greatest situation, but at least they were used to it. Then Robyn came along, and she was way more needy than anyone expected. She quickly became the emotional damsel in distress, and Kody, ever the narcissist, was more than happy to play the hero. But that relationship dynamic, it disrupted everything. By the time the OG3 had had enough, the damage was done, and they were out. The family wasn't working before Robyn, and after she came in with her own set of demands, it only got worse. Robyn's way of telling Meri she was pregnant with Solomon. Well, let's just say her sensitive approach didn't exactly land as planned. She seemed to start off on the right track, giving Meri some space to process the news, but then, of course, she went completely overboard. When Meri simply said she was fine and happy for Robyn, Robyn couldn't help herself. She just had to keep going. Really? Really? Are you really happy? I know this must be so hard for you, so sensitive, and you just wish you could have more babies. Like, okay, Robyn, we get it. At this point, it wasn't about Meri's feelings anymore. It was all about Robyn feeling like she needed to broadcast how extra considerate she was being. But instead of making Meri feel better, it just made her feel worse, like she was supposed to be grateful for Robyn's thoughtfulness. If I were Meri, I would have just wanted to hear the news along with everyone else, not be singled out like that with Robyn practically holding a pity party just for her. Apparently, Christine did the same thing when she was pregnant, told Meri separately. They were close at the time, so it makes sense she wanted to be careful of Meri's feelings. But honestly, it's just an awkward situation to handle on camera. No matter what, it's bound to be uncomfortable. Wait, how did this tidbit come out? I'd never heard it before. And then there's Kody calling Christine a shit sister wife. Seriously, Christine was just trying to be considerate and sensitive to Meri, and yet Kody's over here throwing shade. Classic. Robyn, on the other hand, doesn't seem to realize that her constant virtue signaling ends up exposing just how much she centers herself in every situation. It's like she's trying to make herself look like this super considerate person, but really she's just making it all about her. Take the whole fertility thing. offering up her womb after Solomon was born? Yeah, that wasn't about being a great friend to Mary. It was about subtly reminding everyone how fertile she is. And let's not forget the long-term goal, getting Mary to hand over that marriage license. Once Robin became the legal wife, though, suddenly she wasn't trying so hard anymore. I can't help but wonder if Robin was somehow involved in the catfish situation. After all, she had a friend who knew about it. Could that friend have been gathering information from Robin, passing it along to the catfish? Was it all part of some plan to distract Mary, keep her busy, while Robin enjoyed her shiny new title as the legal wife? Because, let's face it, how else would the catfish know what blouse Mary was wearing or where she was shopping? Just a thought. Rewatching this, and I'm honestly floored. I'm not a huge Mary fan, but what Robin did here is probably the cruelest thing she's ever done. First, she has Mary host the family at her house, and then announces she's pregnant. Like, really? There's no way that wasn't calculated. That's just a special kind of twist-the-knife cruelty to someone who's dealt with infertility. And Kody, don't even get me started. He didn't even step in to stop it. Wow. And then Robin has the audacity to complain that the teenagers, who've been parentified their entire lives, aren't exactly jumping for joy about another baby. Oh, right, because they're definitely supposed to be thrilled at the idea of losing more time with their dad, having even fewer resources, and being stuck with more free childcare duties. It's like Robin doesn't even get it. But the real kicker? The promise that Mary would play this huge role in the new baby's life, as if to make sure she keeps throwing her money into the family pot. That's some next-level emotional manipulation, and I see right through it. Let's talk about the red flags, too. I knew Robin was a piece of work when she had her kids calling Kody daddy before they were even married. And let's not forget the cruelty when she discouraged Mary from going back to college. But the best part? Her being all bothered that the teens weren't overjoyed about a new baby coming into the mix. As if that's the reaction she deserves. I was watching this older clip, and they were on my Kelty for not dressing modestly, by the way.